Okay, so you may have seen my last video regarding, starting to make a fully automatic wool farm. Now, we found a design that we kind of really liked, and it's super simple, and we've already had it going for, since our last video. So it is working, it is functional, we do like how much wool it's producing, but I don't like the fact that we're only getting one color. So, I did some preparations here. Let's make this for every color available. I think we're going to have this take up this whole section of land. This is going to be the jumbo automatic wool farm, we'll call it. So let's get right to it. First up, grab some dirt and start extending this platform. This is where all the sheep are going to sit, so we want the grass to start growing right away. The more dirt we have on this, the better. I'd rather just extend it, extra. I feel like this is a good length right there, just to at least get us started out. All right, now we have to make the collection system first. So we know that that is there, so we're going to have it like this, with a 1 block gap in between to hold the minecarts. Okay, now we need to grab the chests and our hoppers. So we have the chests. So let's grab the chests first. Place the chests in between these gaps. Perfect. And then grab the hoppers. Face them into the chest. That's the start of our collection system right there. I think I'm going to make this a little bit longer. I think we're going to do one more. One more. I think that's, we'll do one more just for the sake of being even. Okay, perfect. So just like that. Now we're going to need to block off the back and then place our rails and minecarts. So we're going to do this. Perfect, just like that. Let's grab our hopper minecarts and let's grab our rails. We have our rails and a bunch of hopper minecarts. So we're gonna need a bunch of hopper minecarts. This does use quite a bit of materials. I've been saving up for a while to do this. All right, so you're gonna place the rails on the top of the hopper facing the opposite direction. That way the minecarts can't roll off on every single one. Just like this. Okay, and then grab our minecart with a hopper in it and place it on top of that. The minecart is able to get through the grass block, so it can still collect, and then the hopper pulls it from the minecart into the chest. It's a very simple collection system, which is great because I don't like complicated, and we are kind of restricted with some of our resources, but that's why we're making some of these farms, right? Okay, perfect. I mean, look at that. That's already looking really good. Okay. Oh, sun's going down. Quick nap time. Quick nap time, and then we'll get back to it. Wait, hang on. Me. Okay. All right. Now that nap time's over, let's start and looking at the next step. We're going to need some observers, some redstone, and then our dispensers, which we have already. We're going to need a little bit more of that. I think we're going to need one more observer, so we're going to make that really quick. Perfect. 10 and 10. All right. Wonderful. So the next step is pretty simple. Let me grab a couple blocks here. All right, so we want an observer facing into... Oh, hang on. Want an observer facing into this block here. Nope, that's not it either. You know what? Let's do this a little bit easier, huh? Let's get rid of one block in between so we can start placing these. I think that's it. Okay. And then we can go down here. Yes. Yes, look how smart I am. I'm a genius. and place all of these observers facing into the dirt block in front of it. That's going to be the block that the sheep has to stand on. And then you're going to take a dirt block and place a dirt block behind every single one of those observers that we just placed. Like so. We're going to build ourselves back up here. Perfect. And then you want a dispenser on top of the observer facing this block. Again, the sheep is going to stand on the grass, eat the grass, observer will detect it, and then it will shear the sheep using the dispenser. So we're going to have an observer on top, dispenser on top of every observer, just like so. And then a single redstone dust behind every dispenser on that block we had placed earlier. It is super simple. I mean, we've already pretty much dialed out the collection system. We've dialed out, the farm system itself. Now we're just going to need a bunch of sheep, and then we're going to make some more glass containers, and we're going to line this all the way across with sheep. So let's start working on that right now. Okay, so as you can see, we have completely filled the farm. But now, since all these sheep are white, we're going to need to color them. This one we're going to keep as white because we've already had it producing white. Black sheep, we already had the black sheep, so we just have to start that farm up once all the grass has grown. But before you put any shears into the dispensers, it's important that if you are going to dye them, meaning using other colors, you have to dye them prior. So we do have some dyes. We grabbed some poppies from our iron farm to get the red dye, and we grabbed some yellow dye from just some dandelions that were laying around. Used those two to create an orange dye, and then we had this pink dye from a wandering trader. So that means we'll have... let's try and set this up strategically. So we're going to have white. We'll do this one yellow, black, pink, orange, red. Okay, so these are the colors, and I already love how it looks right now, by the way. So these are the colors we have so far. So that means we have at least for right now, because we can't extend this to get all like the light pink or all the sub colors. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more colors that we could use for this farm right now. So I'm thinking maybe we go on a little adventure to try and find some more colors, some more flowers, dyes, whatever. So let's go see if we can grab some more colors for this farm now. I'm thinking of heading this way and just seeing what we find. finally found a second biome. This is a flower biome. Look at all these flower colors. It has been a long journey. We've got a lot of goodies and a lot of flowers to get back. So let's start collecting these flowers and do the long journey back home. Okay, and we are back, and by golly, was that horrendous. It took us such a long time to find the biomes, to get the flowers, and then travel all the way back, but we did it. I mean, look, we made out with quite a few different flowers, just enough to get us where we need to be. I have plenty of extra flowers, that way we never have to make that trip again, and some awesome colored dyes to add to this. So let's start dyeing these sheep now. I figured we could do a blue, a purple, a magenta, and then I think a light gray, and finally a light blue to start the light series. We are missing green and brown. So we are going to need to extend this at some point in time. So when I finish this building, I'll make sure to bear in mind that, we have to extend this slightly. But now that all the sheep have been dyed, we're going to grab our iron ingots, and we are going to craft up a bunch of shears. So let me put all my flowers away first. I wonder what I should do with all these flowers now. And we're going to craft up a bunch of shears. To activate these farms now, make sure there's grass around them. You're going to shear him to get started, and then place a couple of shears into the dispenser. So shear, and then we're going to place a couple of shears in that dispenser. And all this does is it just starts the process, and then now every time the sheep eats the grass, the observer will detect it, sending a signal to the dispenser to shear it, and so on and so forth. So this farm will continue to operate for as long as it has shears. Let's make a couple more shears. I recommend a minimum of 2 in each one. I mean, you can definitely do less, but in my opinion, you'll continuously be checking because you don't know if it runs out. I think this is just the easier solution. You're gonna hear a lot of sheep sounds from this video. It's okay. And let's put that there. And one more. All right. So that is the farm. So now we can work on cleaning it up, making it look how we want it to look, and, kind of fit the rest of our design. I might play around with some stuff, but I like the glass showing where the sheep are, and we definitely want to incorporate all of these new colors that we've now collected. And if you have any ideas for what we should do with the flowers, I'm also open to that as well. But we have plenty of flowers, so we can definitely do some cool stuff in the future. All right, so let's start making this look like how we want it to look. If you are not interested, you don't have to stick around. But if you are, follow along. And I think I'm done. I think this is a excellent build. I think it officially takes over for the largest build on the world. It originally was this super big sugarcane farm, but I think just size-wise and material-wise, I think this one takes the cake. I made a nice vaulted roof on it. I plan on maybe doing some extension off the side, or even doubling this up to having a back to it. That's why we made it a little bit taller. Every build we do gets slightly larger, but this is a fully automatic, multicolored wool farm. We'll call it the Jumbo Wool Farm for my Minecraft survival world, and it works surprisingly well. I mean, we already have 22, roughly 20 wool in all this, and just from the time I've been building. So get ready for some super colorful builds on the world. And we did a fun thing last episode where we built some of your Minecraft ideas. I'm thinking, please give me some cool or fun or silly ideas that you want to see in the world, and we can start just building them. I'll do a full episode dedicated to just building your Minecraft ideas, and we'll see how it brings the world together. If not, just thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.